guys, it's Erica, and I'm going to be doing a book review on The Fault in Our Stars by John Green. And if you watched last week's video, I tried to do a video, but I couldn't. And I finished this book on Christmas Day, and I have been trying to do a video of it since then, and I can't because I want to put so much detail and everything about how I feel about, but I can't because it would last forever. And so I'm just going to be talking about my favorite parts in the book, and I'm also going to be doing a non-spoiler summary of the book, so that would be for the people who have not read the book. So here's the non-spoilery summary. It's about this girl, Hazel, who has thyroid cancer, and it's this cancer in your lungs that she has a bunch of fluid in her lungs that is making it hard for her to breathe. So she has to have an oxygen tank and stuff, like for her nose, like I forgot what it's called. But she has to walk around with it, sleep with it, and that's what she's gonna have to deal with for the rest of her life. And she has to go to this support group every week, and it's literally in Jesus' heart. And that's where she meets Augustus Waters, who had some cancer in his leg, I think, and they had to amputate it. So he has a prosthetic leg, and he is there to support his friend Isaac, who has this eye cancer, and later on he has some more surgery, and he met Isaac through the support group, and they're kind of friends. But that's where Hazel and Augustus meet. And throughout the book, Hazel and Augustus, their relationship grows through the book. And they are both hilarious, smart, witty, arrogant characters. And together they make the perfect couple. They're so sweet. And I know that a lot of people are scared to read it because they think it's going to be so sad and just all that stuff. I was a bit scared to read it too, but it's not. Yeah, there's some really sad parts, but the humor in it balances it all out. The characters are just funny. They find everything so funny throughout this thing, even when they're going through the worst times. They just find everything humor. So it balances. Yeah, it's sad, but then it's funny at the same time. So it's a perfect mix. So that is all for the non-spoiler section of this. So if you have not read this book, I definitely recommend it. And if you have not read it, please go, because I'm going to get into the spoiler section, and I don't want to spoil you. So for the people who have read this book, please stay. We can talk about it. Spoilers start now. Hello and welcome to Spoilers. So, I'm just going to talk about my favorite parts in this book. And one of my favorite parts is when Augustus takes Hazel to the museum, the bones, I think that's what there's something, I know there's bones. And he has a bunch of, I think it's Dutch stuff. There's a bunch of the yellow blanket, the yellow cheese, I think. And just a bunch of stuff that's Dutch. And since they both want to go to Amsterdam because they want to meet the author of Imperial Affliction, because they want to know what happens to the characters. I wanted to know too, because even though I haven't read the book, the way that they described it, it makes me want to read it too. And so he talks about the wish thing, and Augustus finds out that Hazel, wasted her wish on going to Disneyland, and he is so appalled at that thought that he uses his wish for both Hazel and him to go to Amsterdam to see the author, who is a complete douchebag. But I'm not going to get into him because he makes me mad. So even though that part is very disappointing, they had such an amazing time just together before everything just kind of flipped and it just went crazy. How they went, I'm really happy how they got to go to Amsterdam and spend that time together. It was really sweet. And another one of my favorite parts, even though it's really sad, is when Augustus, he finds out that he still has cancer and that he's pretty much dying. And he calls Isaac and Hazel over to the church to do his pre-funeral. And they have to write this script. I forgot what it's called. And Isaac's is really funny. Hazel's is very touching. And I love how even though he's dying, Augustus still finds humor in everything. He still makes jokes. He still laughs. It's just very amazing how he can through this and still be kind of not happy, but he can see the light in things. And that is pretty amazing. And I love how even I like how there's kind of two different directions in this. It's not all about Hazel and Augustus. Isaac has some problems too. I mean, with Monica leaving him because he got the surgery and she never called him, never answered his text, never gave any explanation why she left. She just never talked to him again. And Isaac was just left alone. So he has his own problems mixed with Hazel's and Augustus. So it's not just them. There's just a whole bunch of problems. And it really kind of tied together nice and perfectly. And I really liked that. And I love how throughout this book you get like little Hazel and Augustus kind of go back and forth. It can be really serious, and then they can throw in some very funny joke, and then go right back to seriousness again, and then just joking around. They can just they're a lot more mature than a usual 16-year-old would be. Maybe it's probably because they have the cancer. They're mature enough to just be like, oh, what's the point? And I love how they can just be, they don't really let the cancer get to them. They don't want you to be sympathetic for them. They want you to treat them like normal people. Like normal people. And that's kind of how everyone kind of wants to be treated anyway.
So, those were my favorite parts, and I loved the humor throughout it. I could not stop laughing the whole entire time. It was a mix of laughter and crying. This book was amazing. So guys, that is all for today. Tell me in the comments which were your favorite parts, what were your not favorite parts. Did you enjoy the book? Did you not?